Hello and what's up everybody, ThunderBob here, and tonight we're going to be checking out Contra Operation Galuga. Galuga? However you want to pronounce it. I'm a big Contra fan, and this is the newest Contra. Just came out a couple weeks ago. So far I've put maybe 2 or 3 hours into it. I beat the story mode completely, and tonight we're going to actually jump into the arcade mode and see how long I can get through on a single continue. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the game and the series in general, my history with it. Before we jump into it, let's talk about what's available in this package and my thoughts overall on the game. First off, there's story mode. The difference between story and arcade is story has a ton of voice acting and animation and like way too much actually. Like I'll probably never play through story mode again. It was cool to see it the first time, but there is just way too much dialogue for this type of game. It is nice that they have Steve Blum doing some voice acting, some Spike Spiegel up in the house. That's pretty awesome. There are 8 levels, and the other difference in the story mode is if you die, you can continue kind of from almost like checkpoints in the level rather than starting all the way over. And as long as you beat a stage, you can continue, from the next stage. So like, as long as I've gotten to 7, I can always play starting from 7 to continue my story. You don't have to do it all in one go. So it's a lot easier if this is your first time. I would start in the story mode, maybe skip the dialogue if it's not for you. But it is an easier way to play through. There is also this perk store. When you start up your game, it lets you pick 2 perks per character. And these perks are things like, start with specific weapons equipped. Each life you get 2 additional hit points. Things like that. They're also, after beating the game, it gave me the option to unlock some additional characters by paying points. And throughout the actual story mode, you unlock a good number of characters as well. Like you start out with 2, and then each couple levels they like add more. And by the end, you've got 5 characters to pick from, and then there's an additional 3 that you get through that perk shop. And in the arcade mode, actually, I think I've got even more than that now. And these characters all have little differences. Some of them have double jumps, a dash. This guy has like a grappling hook, and he can hover in the air. They all have slight differences. I don't know all of them yet. I've only played through as a couple of them so far. But it does give you a little bit of replayability in having those character differences. The only annoying thing is the cost on these perks. Like, I played through the story mode, and it actually gave me 1,000 points to start with for whatever reason. I don't know if that was something unique to my version, but I started with 1,000, and I beat the campaign, and this is all I've unlocked so far, is invulnerability when dashing with Bill, starting with the homing weapon, and 2 life increases, and 1 HP increase. And then I got this for beating the game. So, like, I think this is maybe 2,000 credits worth, and I'm almost out of credits. And like, these are 8,000. Most of these abilities are 500 to 1,000. And what I read was playing through the arcade mode on the hardest difficulty is the higher the difficulty, the more credits you're gonna get. I think it was like 16,000 credits for a full playthrough on hard, which, that's not an easy thing to do, and it's probably gonna take you maybe, an hour to 2. So it's going to take a while to unlock all these perks. I actually wish they had accelerated the credit payout. I think that's a little... I'm not going to play enough to unlock all those characters. I don't see myself doing it. There's also challenge mode. I've only gone through the first one. I wanted to see how much they paid out. This first challenge, when I beat it, I got all of 100 credits towards that 8,000 credit character unlock. And it was not easy. I had to do this like 10 times because a single hit knocks you out. You have to do it within a certain time. They're kind of cool. This is the one I did already, but I'll just start it up. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but just to show you. And really, this one, you don't have to kill any enemies. It's just about time. So like, you mostly just want to avoid the enemies. And I've done this already, so I kind of see if I can actually do this on camera on the first try. Those sniper guys kept getting me. Like that. If you don't time it right, you get blasted. I love the look of the game. I didn't initially. The first trailer, I was kind of turned off by it. The 3D art is not my preference. I did it on... What? How did I fail? Oh, I didn't make it in time? Yeah, that's how hard it is. I didn't get it in the right amount of time, so we'll just quit. But I got to the end at least. But I did do it in 35 seconds, and that gave me all of 100. I'm gonna, let's just jump in and I'll give you my thoughts as we're going, but overall I really have enjoyed the story mode, and played this almost exclusively on the Steam Deck so far, so I'm now on my computer. We'll see if I do a little bit better. Runs well on the Steam Deck. We're talking 60 FPS locked most of the time, a few drops to about 50 with just default settings, and there really are not a lot of graphical settings in here. It doesn't support ultra-wide. You can change the resolution, you can change your aiming mode, vibration, that kind of thing, but there's really not much here. Okay, so right off the bat, you got easy, normal, hard. I'm going to go with just normal. You can go with one-hit kills like classic Contra, and you will get an extra bonus if you win going that mode. I am not at that skill level yet. We're going to go with health meters, and you can change up the soundtrack from retro to the Galuga OST, like the remake OST. Both are pretty good. I'm going to go with the Galuga because you probably haven't heard it if this is the first time you're playing. I actually really like the classic mix too, though. You can get your character select. I'm going to go with just the default one because I've already unlocked his invincibility dash thing, and I've played the most with him, and I feel like I might get the furthest with him. I really did not like Stanley Ironside here that you get during the campaign. He doesn't have a double jump, he's got like a glide, but it feels like a lot of the levels are designed with verticality where you have to go up, and that double jump feels so much more useful because the glide, you stand in place, you don't go any higher. And like, it was really throwing me off. I beat the last level as him, and it was a pain in the ass. Bill Rizer. Some of these names are amazing. Bill Rizer. Lance Bean. Ariana? That's kind of out of place. Lucia. Ironside. That's nice. And then we pick our perks here. I'm going to go with the HP boost and Bill's Spirit. And we'll go ahead and start. And I've got some extra levels also because I unlocked the additional HP. It's in the perk screen and it's global. You don't have to pick it as a perk, actually. And if this was the story mode, there would be like a lengthy intro video, and then your character would like talk for 2 minutes when he lands. It's kind of weird they put so much effort into it, to be honest. Like, I have 7 lives because I unlocked the extra lives and those bonus HP. I almost missed the first weapon, the machine gun. Classic. And I don't know how far I'm gonna get. I already got hit. I just beat the story, which is, I can put that now, is arguably a little bit easier than the arcade mode. And I feel like I grinded it a little bit. Like, the last level took me a couple of attempts. Damn it. I do have a lot of history with the series. Like, one of my very early gaming experiences was playing Contra at a neighbor's house, the original NES Contra. And then I got... one nice thing is it will automatically, like if I have F and M and I run over another F, it'll actually upgrade that, even though I don't have it in the main slot there. Might get the machine gun. It's kind of smart in how it, like, switches between your weapons. Yep, I digress. Yeah, I grew up on the original Contra, and then there's Steve Blum. Love that guy. I got Contra 3 for the Super Nintendo, and like people in a lot of the reviews I was reading talk about like the value of this game. You know, it's $39.99, which for a 2D, you know, run and gun style game seems actually, yeah, switch that. Seems oh, I didn't notice that it, when you go to the water, it like mutes the audio. That's clever. I like that. You know, back in the Super Nintendo, I'm pretty sure my parents paid $70 for Contra 3, which I still consider one of the best games of all time. It would probably be, not in my top 10, but definitely like my top 20. It's such a perfectly designed game. But that's a game you can beat in like 45 minutes if you know what you're doing, and it costs $70, and people are like kind of hating on this for being $40. And let's just the spread. I like the spread, and I lost the life already. It's not going well. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it kind of makes sense because games have gotten so much longer and people are used to free to play and they're used to like tons of replayability and but this is like a really fun Contra game. It doesn't quite hit the highs to me of Contra 3, the Alien War, or for that matter, Hardcore. My favorite's Contra 3. My second favorite is definitely Contra Hardcore. To me, it feels like something maybe like comparable to like Contra 4, or maybe like Shattered Soldier for the PlayStation 2. I think is a reasonably good Contra game. It's not great, but it's not as bad as those PlayStation 1 monstrosities. And I'm pretty sure I played just about every Contra game. Maybe not. There was that newest one that wasn't really a Contra game. I did skip that one. But like, I played probably every other major Contra release. By no means am I great or a master or anything, but I've checked them all out. But it does feel like that. Like, it's not quite hitting the highs of Contra 3. Like, the level design in Contra 3, I think, is hard to beat. And this is a remake of the first Contra. And it feels like they try to be fairly close to that original. I love how this is like a remix of that classic Contra fight, except they come at you from, like, multiple angles now. And I got my life back. Let's keep the... Yeah, it's such a... like a clever way to expand upon this like classic Contra. There's also there are weapon upgrades in this, and I don't know if I mentioned that. I feel like that's not something that every Contra has had. Oh, I'm gonna die again. Okay. I feel like that maybe Contra 4 had that. I can't remember. It's been a little too long. But I don't think the old school ones had those multiple levels of the weapons. I do like that. You can also overload the weapon, and each weapon has like... it'll use up that weapon, but it'll give you like a shield, or like the whole screen will like fill up with... oh no, I didn't want to use that! Like, if you do the multi-shot one, the overload ability, it'll just like fill the entire screen up with bullets, which is really cool. There's also a perk that'll like give you health when you do that, which seems, I haven't unlocked it, but it seems like that would be very powerful, because the rate at which you get what to do to show you. There's the overload for the multi-shot one, and they last for a while. I feel like they stick around until they hit enemies, maybe. The level 2 laser has like a nice bounce effect too. There's lots of clever, like, taking what's existing and then remixing it in fun ways. I do like that. And I like the look of the world. Like, there are times where it's 2D, it's on a 2D plane, but like that, where it's like the world kind of shifts its perspective in pretty cool ways. They do that a couple times on some of the bosses. Hey. Pinball over here. So overall, I'm happy with it. It's a really fun Steam Deck game. Like I said, I played through 75% of this on my Steam Deck, and it ran pretty well. There's a few spots where it would drop to maybe like 45, 50, still playable. But if you're used to 60 and then it suddenly drops, it's definitely a little bit more noticeable. Like, you might want to just lock it to like 50. You might get a better experience, like 45 or maybe 40. You can set the screen refresh to 40 and lock the FPS to 40. I like the upgraded homing missiles here. But like, whether or not you want to buy this at 40 definitely depends. Like, are you going to replay any of the stages? Are you going to check out the perks? It is a 2-hour game, and these days it's kind of hard to reasonably ask for $40 for that kind of length of time. The other thing is there is local multiplayer. You can play the story mode with 2 people, or the arcade mode allows 4, but it is only local multiplayer. There is no cooperative online multiplayer, which is sucky. Maybe if it sells well enough, they'll add it. That'd be cool. I do feel like some of these stages go on just a little too long. Like, I love that shift in perspective there. That double jump is invaluable. And like the addition of the dash and the double jump, which I think they've had in some of the Contras, but not most of them. I don't think the original had that double jump. I missed the upgrade. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without losing another life. It'd be cool if I actually beat this on one continue. Like, I haven't. This is the first real attempt at arcade. Yeah, and he runs off screen. That's cool. Comes out on the other side. And some of the old, like the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games do some quasi 3D stuff, but I feel like they do it really poorly, where it's very hard to like keep your aim situated. Like, as it's shifting perspectives, you'd always kind of lose your focus, or like the aim would go haywire. Man, I got the second level. Oh, that wasn't them. That was the sub-boss. I forgot. There is, like I said, in the story mode, there is a lot of story. I don't want that. The upgraded sea actually is pretty awesome, though. It's like a black hole. There is like so much story, and what's funny is there's like, after you beat the last boss, it goes on for like 3 minutes of talking, and then there's after credit scenes where they're like setting up. I don't want to spoil it much, but like, it definitely hints that they're going to do Alien 3, which I would totally dig that. No! You only lose your main weapon when you die, and there's even a perk that will let you keep your weapon upon death, which is interesting. I don't know if I would take that over the extra life. Or the dash invulnerability, or like higher jump kind of stuff. I should be using the dash way more. I'm not, because I played through with the Probotector guy, the robot, and he does not have a dash. He's got the grappling hook, which seems kind of useless. But it kind of threw me off because I wasn't dashing obviously with that guy. It's also just kind of unnatural to dash in this game. I don't want this main machine gun. This is where it feels like some of these levels just go on a little too far. Like, it doesn't... I'm kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. I know that's what Contra is, but like, Contra 3 is perfect because each section lasts like exactly as long as it needs to be, and then they introduce a new mechanic, a new enemy type, like new you know, new vehicles, new bosses, do something.
We didn't embarrass you enough already.
Whereas I feel like this, it just goes on a little longer than necessary. And I remember this guy was a pain in the ass in the story. This laser I found kind of hard to dodge, but what I eventually found was the vulnerability on the dash is very useful. Not finding this too difficult at the moment. Ah, I used my dash, but I like dashed into it. I'm an idiot. I do feel like they don't telegraph how much damage you're doing to the boss. Like, some of them, they do better. Like the last boss, it's pretty clear when you're killing him. But like this guy, like other than like that brief flash, maybe I can't dash through it. Or maybe I need a jump dash. I can't really, like, this guy doesn't look like he's taking any damage yet, but he's just gonna, like, die in a second. Yeah, like that. Like, it would be cool if you're blowing off pieces of his armor or he starts bleeding or something. Village. This stage, I really liked the look of it. It reminded me a lot of Metal Slug, which is next to Contra, it is for sure my favorite run and gun game. Metal Slug, the series, is just really well put together. I don't know how I didn't get shot there. There's the upgraded spread. My nose itches. These games don't give you a lot of time to like scratch an itch. You just like, if I look away for a second, I'm dead. It's like a Dark Souls of the run and gun. Maybe Soulsborns are actually run and gun games. Yeah, that makes sense. Except you can pause this. You can't pause a lot of those. I haven't really used the overload a lot because I tend to like get the weapon I like and hold onto it, and I think the overload ability, it's there to kind of push you to switch guns more often, but I'm like curmudgeon, I don't want to. I like my spread, I like my missiles, I like the upgraded laser. So I don't usually get it because I don't want to have to sit with the level 1 lasers.
Trying something.
Yeah, this stage, they should have just had a guy that you like save and he takes off his pants and like an upgrade comes out or whatever. I was gonna get under that. I actually have an arcade cabinet, the Legends Ultimate, and it is really good for Metal Slug. It runs all those games pretty perfectly. And by perfectly, I mean like with the arcade slowdown like intended. I'm trying to not die on this stage. Like this type of level is where the guy without the double jump I think really failed. because like his hover in the air, it doesn't let you go up any higher. So it'd be like I jump and then I jump again, and I would just be like stuck on that specific like level. And I'm gonna die, right? Some of these levels, it feels like, because like the default now is to have lives instead of the one-hit mechanic, it almost feels like there's some spots that it's impossible to get through without getting hit, which I kind of don't like. Like, so many things coming at you at once, and then like the ground is electrifying, and like, especially later, there's the last couple levels, and there's like some, maybe with a lot of practice, you could, I missed up right there. Me with, oh, damn it! Oh, it put me up here at least. Maybe with a lot of practice, or maybe if I was just better. But, there are for sure a couple of spots where I'm like, how would I do this without taking at least a hit? Yeah. And I guess even in like the old school Contras, there were some spots that just felt like it was impossible to avoid getting shot, but gotta time this just right. That dash, the double jump and the dash, feels like gives you a lot more maneuverability. And maybe I need to use that more. Maybe it's me, it's not the game. One thing I always loved about Contra 3 is it felt like you were intended to play it without like stopping or slowing down. Like if you just run through the stage as fast as possible, it's almost like everything times perfectly, or at least that's how I always felt it played. Nice, got a life back. I think for this boss I want the fire. I don't like the machine gun very much. It's just like a faster normal weapon. And I would have had like 10 minutes of cutscenes by now if we were playing through the story mode. Oh! I don't know how I dodged that. I went the wrong way. And of course it's the M. Do I have to blow up the hands before I blow up the head? I'm not sure. Oh man. I thought the lasers were gonna take care of this. Okay, you can just go right for the head. It's always best to go for the head. Alright, moving on. And I want to see when I eventually do die, because I'm not going to make it to the end on 2 more lives, but I'm curious. It's 3 stages complete, how many points that'll net me. Upgraded laser? I will take that. I don't like these things. I'm very impatient. After I beat the game, it like gave me the option to, you know, spend those 8,000 credits for some characters. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I played Hardcore, but I'm pretty sure that's the werewolf from Contra Hardcore. Corpse Core, however you want to say it. Gotta time this just right. As they're going up, and then dash. But my Contra lore does not go that far. Ooh, yeah, we'll take that. I like how the camera like pulls in sometimes and pulls out, like it feels a little more intimate. So I feel like it sometimes makes it harder to play when it pulls in like this. Like you don't get a lot of time to react, and then it pulls back out. Oh, I gotta go up. It's waiting for me. I'm like, why is the camera not panning? It's waiting for me. I'm the idiot. I keep the missile. For here, I like the missile because you can just like, I don't have to worry about aiming. It's almost like a bullet hell. I'm just worrying about trying to keep myself alive. Sometimes the hanging on stuff feels a little awkward. I'm not sure if it's me. Like it felt a little more natural in the old school Contra. We're almost to some of the levels I dislike. Like there was one, and it might be this one or the next one. I don't need a second. Later, it's already upgraded. I'm not sure if it's this level or the next one, but there's like these annoying regenerating guys. You kill them and they keep coming back. And then it's in a cave system. And they're like these crystals that spawn from the ground. And they obscure your view. So it's hard not because like there's so many enemies or it's like you can't dodge in time. Like physically, sometimes I couldn't see the enemies. It was, I don't know. I think it was really poorly designed. Like there's some where the crystals block your view, but also invert. But yeah, like this. You just jump up top. Do that. How do I not let it aim down? What the? Okay, I don't know why it wasn't letting me aim down there. I think I'm gonna lose. I beat this guy the first time, and all I did was jump up top. Am I holding... Did I change something? Why can't I not shoot straight down? That's gonna jump up again. The first time I beat this guy, it took me like 10 seconds. I just like jumped on it and just shot straight down, and he like died. Am I doing something wrong? Oh, I got one hit. I'm dead. I'm dead. This might be it. This might be it, folks. I think that's a game over. It's a game over. Let's see how many points I got at least. 700 credits for beating 3 1/4 stages. If I hit continue... Okay, so it does let me start over. I wasn't 100% sure how they did the continues, but it does start you from the beginning of the level, which is a little annoying. You know, I think I'll end it for the night here. I don't know if I have it in me to play the next 4 stages before my bedtime, so it'll be the first half of the game. Maybe I'll do another video down the road with the other half. But yeah, I'm definitely digging it. I would say it doesn't quite hit the series highs of something like Contra 3, Contra Hard Corps, but it feels pretty comparable to something like Contra 4, Shattered Soldier, like some of the better of the B-tier Contra games. It's not perfect. The stage design is good, but there are a few kind of bullshit areas. The fact that it's only like 2 hours, definitely a lot of people are going to be bummed out over that. But that's a Contra game. I feel like you should kind of know what you're going into. Like the longer Contra games are actually usually the ones that are terrible because they have to pad it out with like bad gameplay. And graphically, I would have preferred 2D sprite work, but I actually ended up liking this a lot more than I expected. It feels competently put together, like everything works pretty well. There's just a couple of small areas, like where the game blocks your view, which is annoying, like, or where it almost feels like a bullet hell game where there's too much coming at you at once, especially in the later stages where it's just like not fun anymore. And maybe that's just a skill issue, like I haven't played through arcade mode all the way, and maybe I'll I'll get there eventually. Use this damn boss again.
Don't get up on my account.
And maybe this will make it easier, because I was just gonna say the upgraded shot. I won't get through the legs now. Ow. Yeah, but overall, I think it's a good package, but if $40 seems too steep for the length of the game here, maybe wait for a Steam sale and come back to this. But I'm gonna sign off here. I do want to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this, I do have a lot of coverage of new PC games, retro games, virtual reality. If you like what I'm doing, please do like, subscribe, drop me a comment with your thoughts, and just have a good night, everybody.